From high-tech to old school, corporate to mom and pop, Chelmsford, Mass. Has a thriving business community. And every month, the Chelmsford Business Association visits 2 local businesses. We learn what makes each one successful, what makes it unique, and what makes it an integral part of the town we love. So let's get down to business with the Chelmsford Business Association. And welcome to the Chelmsford Business Association. I'm your host, Bill Martin, along with Paul Aronian and Executive Director John Harrington. Merry Christmas, John.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, Bill. Good to have you here again.
Oh, it's always a great time for Paul and I. We like being anywhere. You know?
Well, we're going to have a great time tonight, as always.
Yep. Here at the Princeton. What a great job they do.
Oh, they're very people-friendly.
Yeah.
They work very closely with us. Anything we need, they're right there to help out. And so we've been here maybe 4 or 5 years now. And it's nice. It works out great for us.
Yeah, they do a great job. They're very accommodating, and the place looks fantastic. And I'll tell you, another full house this year.
This is a popular function we offer to our members. It's part of their membership. Come and have a sit-down meal with us, and we do the raffles. And what the raffles is give to ourselves.
Right.
It sounds selfish, but it isn't, because we give to the business. The community gives to the community in many, many ways.
Sure.
And I think people sometimes forgets that.
Yeah.
So this is something that we like to do. We invite certainly the selectmen, we invite department heads and so forth. And they do a good job for us, the department heads, selectmen.
Oh, yeah.
Being in the political arena isn't the easiest thing to do, and we know that. So
that's for sure.
So this is where we try to put all our things apart and just have a good night.
Yeah. Well, back 100 years ago, the political leaders of the town were the business leaders of the town.
Absolutely.
And so for the business association and the elected officials working together, I think that's what the community expects.
And it should be for the good of the community.
Right.
And that's what we're all about. We give back, we believe. And as you know, Bill, many of us live in this town. My family goes back 5 generations.
Right.
So my grandparents came into Chelmsford in 1909. So we've been here. And we've
1909?
1909. My grandfather and grandmother, absolutely. So we're talking 5 generations.
Yeah.
My mother graduated from high school in 34.
Yeah.
And my father, and then my brother, my children, and my grandchildren now in school.
At the South Road School.
So we like good, strong schools, and Chelmsford has it. We like the fire and police. They do a great job for it. Us in the community. But like anything else, if you want those amenities, it costs money, and that's, unfortunately, it's taxes.
Right.
And you can't get away from that. But Chelmsford is a great town to live in and a great town to do business with so far.
Yep. Okay. Okay, well, we've got a big year as we turn the corner and head into 2019. This whole 129 overlay thing, that looks like a red-hot thing.
It is. I've been to a couple groundbreakings there. It is red-hot. The town did a great job putting that together with the Business Association, who went along with that. We notified our members and say, hey, there's going to be some stuff going on down there. If you want to get in there, plan on, get a second location.
Sure.
But it is red hot. It's something that was needed because that place is getting stale, or was stale.
Oh, yeah.
So, again, it's moving right along, which is nice. It's going to bring in some good tax dollars to the town.
Yeah.
That's what the town needs, more tax dollars coming in.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's what you're going to see.
I'm reminded of your friend who had a small business on 129 in there, and he's an attorney, and he was putting together like an attorney law firm thing. And it was like an incubator where it had like 6 or 8 different companies all sharing the same conference room, the same office.
Steve Smith.
Yes,
absolutely.
Exactly, right.
A good guy who's done a lot, who has 3 businesses in town. In fact, he has 3 memberships. And he's a Chelmsford guy. He's lived in town, went to school here.
He could actually get 2 meals to go tonight, right?
Absolutely. he could.
Yeah. So. But that incubator thing, that's like such a clever idea that he rents part of the space and he's doing, his work in there, and there's like all these other companies.
Right.
It really is a great use of that
He's
space.
a very smart guy, and as you know, he
All right, we're good, thanks. We're actually on television right now. We're good, but thank you.
But thank you anyway.
I told you, this Princeton does a good job.
The service is great here. There's no doubt about that. Whether you're being filmed or not.
That's
let's
right.
Have some shrimp here.
That's right.
So that's good. But what were we saying?
Let me reel it back in, and now as we turn the corner into 2019, we got the 129, but what else do we have to look forward to with the Business Association?
I'm trying to think. Some of the other things Bill is building, people, we're all part of one family in this community.
Yeah.
And sometimes people forget that. We don't want to be divided.
Right.
We are parity, we are business owners, but we're also, many of us are residents.
Right. Right.
So
might be a little bit of rebuilding in there going on with what's going on the last year or so.
As you know, the last year has been kind of tough. We're not happy with what we see developing. Even though we have testified at all the hearings and everything else, we've had people on certain committees. We also understand that the powers that be on the committees does not recommend any changes in the taxes.
Right.
They should have parity. Unfortunately, there are some members that don't agree with that will be voting on that issue this Monday.
Right. So this Monday,
This Monday.
Yeah. So we're going to have to wait till next year for our next year's Christmas show to figure out what happened.
One thing that's happening, they were all invited, all the selectmen, and unfortunately 3 of them aren't here and didn't let us know.
Oh, really?
They weren't coming. So that sends out a message to us that it might be a problem.
Yeah, it might be early, I don't know.
It might be early. But I think that sends a message. But I could be wrong, and let's hopefully I am.
Yeah, and I think, once we get through this, we'll get this back, this ship righted again.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah. John Harrington, as always, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We'll
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yep, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well, we're here with Kathleen Kelly. Welcome to the show, Kathy.
Thank you. Good to be here, and I'm glad you are here too.
Well, thanks so much. We were just talking to John Harrington, and we were trying to get our arms around what 2019 is going to look like.
Yep.
There was a couple of things we're excited about, the 129 overlay district, getting that going over there. And, it's not without its political overtones this year. And as we get into 2019, what are some of the things that you and the Business Association are looking forward to?
Well, we're looking, I'll let you hold it.
Okay, thank you.
We're, as you probably know, we have a vote Monday night with the selectmen on tax classification, and that's very important to the association. And we've had a lot of involvement and a lot of people trying to understand exactly how it works. It's a complicated issue. So we're looking forward to that vote, and hopefully it will go in a way that works best for the town and also good for business.
Well, and those aren't mutually exclusive. They actually parallel courses.
That's right.
They?
That's right.
We were talking a little earlier about how the really years ago it was the business owners along with the elected politicians and the church, the head of the clergy that really ran most towns back 100 years ago, that guided the town, and people would look to that. And again, this is one of those moments where I think the established businesses in town really should have a very strong say in the direction of the town.
And the businesses in Chelmsford are very special. It's a very special group. They love the town as much as the residents. In fact, most of them are residents.
Exactly.
And run all kinds of nonprofits and donations and support a lot of what goes on in Chelmsford. As far as Route 129, I think we're all excited to see what's going to be happening there. I've seen some of the preliminary things, and the developments look like they're going to be under control and are going to be positive for the town. For most of the people, I think if you're a neighbor, you're going to be watching it very closely to make sure that it fits in with the neighborhood. But I think that that they're doing a good job with it. So I'm looking forward to that.
Feels like that whole corner of the town, Turnpike Road, Mill Road, Billerica Road, that triangle there, it seems like there's a lot of action going on there these days.
Yes, and I'm excited to see the progression and to see how things turn out. It's been a long stretch of businesses and buildings being empty, so overall I think it's a positive thing, and I hope that it continues to be done in a very thoughtful, well-planned manner.
Yeah. Now that Lifelinks move, that was kind of a good, they stayed within town, they just need a bigger campus and a more
we were happy they stayed in town. That was very, very important. Not every business was able to do that as they grew. I think that this will be a beneficial thing. There was there were some surprises over the last few years where we lost a couple, but overall I think moving forward it's a very positive thing for the town.
Yeah, and as we go into 2019, we're still fortunate to have you at the helm.
Well, probably for one more year, and then I'll pass the baton to most likely our current vice president, who is more capable than anyone. So
I don't know about that. It's got to be tough to follow you, but we appreciate your tenure. We appreciate you spending some time tonight.
These years go by so quickly. I feel like we were just here talking.
Indeed, yes.
Thank you.
Well, we're here with Town Manager Paul Cohen. Welcome to the show.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, another year coming into 2019.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I know that we're all equally excited about is this 129 situation. It seems like there's a lot of opportunity there. For
it seems to be a lot of traction now. There's a few things in the works that we think will probably come to be announced by the springtime.
Oh, yeah.
And some exciting possibilities.
Yeah.
So it's working out well.
Well, we were talking about, like, Steve Smith, one of our members, has it's like an incubator business on 129 where there's like 10 or 12 different companies all in this one shared office space. And the place was just alive with excitement and the possibility, different companies, all the different things that are going on there.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot happening, and we've seen a lot of investment recently. Zoll purchased their building, which is very encouraging. DCU's now open and they're up and running, and
Lifelinks decided to
Lifelinks went over, so Omni Way is now all full.
Yeah.
So like I said, there's some good, and we're seeing some prospects on the roadway that, again, we hope to have hopefully some announcements in the near future.
Yeah, well, that'll be great. I live right around the corner there, and I've been involved in like the 40B projects, as everyone in my neighborhood, but it feels like, well, at least in my neighborhood, it feels like we're pretty much getting to that point with the 40Bs that we're at the 10% level.
Yeah, we're at the 10% level, and I think the apartments that went on Mill Road by Princeton went in, they're all occupied, and it's sort of gone like clockwork. There really haven't been any concerns that have arisen from that unit.
And I got to tell you, as an opponent of it at the time, they really have been a good neighbor.
Yeah.
They've been a good partner there, and it's gone as well as any project.
And it probably helped that Lifelinks move too, because that really cleaned up the roadway. That was a tough situation, and I think now where they are over at Omni Way, it's a better situation for them.
Exactly.
And we're talking to some folks about redeveloping that site.
Yeah.
So that would be very helpful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, indeed. And now as you're going around the corner, you go up Turnpike, there's a big project going on up there as well.
Yeah, the housing development, the apartments, the 168 apartments, and they're telling us that the first building of 24 units will be occupied by May. So that's why they're working out there this time of the year. They've got 2 foundations in, and they're really trying to catch the market. As you know, in business, you got to grab the opportunity while the economy's good.
Nobody wants to move a week before Christmas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're really working out well.
Now, the other part, kind of business thing was up at Route 40. There was the
rezoning of Route 40. Yeah, there's a committee. In fact, I was before the committee on Thursday evening. They're looking at the bringing something back to town meeting. My guess is it'll probably be a little less ambitious than the original one, but that's a tremendous gateway to when you look at the traffic that comes off of Route 3 to Route 40 towards Westford and Groton, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the idea of a residential neighborhood there is kind of tough.
Yeah.
So the real concern is really on the abutting neighborhoods.
Right.
Much like all these projects.
Right, exactly.
So I think that's sort of what's being worked out now.
Yeah, those houses on Route 40 seem to be
Yeah.
for it, but
oh,
it's
yeah,
all
yeah,
the
exactly. It's the neighbors who would be
Right,
seeing
exactly.
the back of what goes in there.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, what else is ahead for 2019 for the town?
I think 2019. We're continuing our efforts in Vinyl Square and in the center. We'll be seeing the wayfindings coming up in terms of signage. We're doing some sidewalk improvements. Obviously the development behind Brickhouse Center Pizza. That's all cleared. You'll see that going up in the spring. And I think the future one will be the Oddfellows building across the way.
Oh, yeah.
We think within the next 18 to 24 months something will be happening there too.
Well, that'd be terrific. I mean, that would really be a real shot in the arm to the center there, wouldn't it?
That's the missing piece. And why we know that's the time frame is the lease expires June of 2020, which is only 18 months away.
Sure.
So we know they're already engaging with engineers.
What was that, like the old First Bank and
That was the old First Bank, yeah. And,
Wow.
And the Santander Bank, which holds the lease for all those properties, their lease expires in June of 20.
Yeah.
So that's why we're confident there'll be a big project there.
Right.
And it's probably going to involve some new construction because those
that
buildings
place
are in tough shape.
It's
They're
leaking
in tough
everything,
shape.
rainstorm,
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah, they're in tough shape.
Yeah, 'cause I
So-
remember that whole place flooded and they didn't even pump it
Exactly.
out.
So I think, obviously, whatever they do will be in character with the center.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be quite different than what you see there today.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they rebuilt that Fisk house.
Yeah,
years
exactly,
ago
after
and it
the
was-
fire, after
Yeah,
the fire, right.
exactly right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Paul, it's good to know you got everything under control up there.
Everything under control. We'll keep trying, Bill. Appreciate being on and good.
Well, Merry
good New Year's.
Christmas. Thanks so much. Happy New Year.
My name's John Harrington. Who said no, no, no? Who said that? John Harrington, I am the Executive Director of the Chelmsford Business Association. And again, I welcome everyone here tonight. It seems like just last year we were here. Unfortunately, last year it snowed pretty heavy, but we still had a good crowd. I have a few housekeeping statements to make. First of all, the dues are in the mail for next year. So enjoy tonight. You'll be getting a letter from us, an invoice I should say, within the week. Some of the other comments I have is I want to thank Flow Moments by Juju Bud, Judy Burke. She donated all the poinsettias that you see on the table. And the suggestion is, anyone that has a birthday closest to today's date, take it home. Take them home, okay? We don't want to leave them here for so definitely take those home. Is everybody's birthday today, or what is it? To move things right along, I'd like to introduce our president, Kathy Kelly, for some open remarks. Kathy?
Thank you. And John gets the hard part. He had to tell you about your dues, and I get the easy part, saying a very, very sincere welcome and thank you for your membership in the CBA and your work in town. We have many guests here from the town offices, and I'm not going to name you individually, but thank you so much for coming, and thank you for making this a town that we can all work together in. I want to start off with mentioning the power behind the board in the Chelmsford Business Association, and that is Kim. Kim, please stand up. Please stand up. Kim Walters does all of the heavy lifting. You have a board that works very, very hard and splits the work, so it makes it easy to be on the board. And we're always looking for people that are interested in being on one of our committees or eventually serve on the board. So if you're thinking along those lines, we would be very happy to welcome you. But Kim is the person that makes it all come together and is always there doing all the work behind the scenes. And I just don't think that we can thank you enough, Kim. was hoping that Jerry Hardy would be here, but he's not, because we wanted to acknowledge him for being the longest-serving town, what's the right term?
Elected official.
Town elected official, thank you. He's on a cruise tonight. And this is really not a night that we like to talk business, we just like to celebrate the success that we have all working together and the success of the businesses in town. But I do want to mention just one thing, and that is real estate tax classification. As many of you know, that has come up on the annual agenda of the Board of Selectmen, and there will be a vote Monday night. There's a continuation of a public hearing, and if any of you are able to be there and comment on how it will affect your business, we would welcome the support. And I'd like to introduce the son of the longest-serving elected public official, Jeff Hardy, who is the co-chairman of the nominating committee, and Jeff will discuss the new officers and board members. Thanks.
Thank you, Kathy. Kathy's been doing a great job. I mean, for many years, a lot of us have been on this board, and Kathy's represented the town in so many ways so well. I've been kind of, this is unexpected. Guest chairman of the nominating committee. So any of you want to get on the board, remember, if you happen to be away on business or not around, if you're not here, you volunteer. So I guess this is what's going on. So we had our annual meeting last month and had our election of officers, and I just want to introduce each one of them. Kathy Kelly will serve one more year as our president. Thank you, Kathy. Our vice president, again, will be Tom Boucher. Tom has worked tirelessly for this organization over the past couple of years, and we can't thank him enough for his effort. Unfortunately, our friend Lynn Marcella is not here tonight. She will serve as 1 year as our secretary. Once again, keeping an eye on the books, as he does so well, Mr. Jim Cullen. We have our directors who came up for their 3-year terms this year is Peter McAllister. Peter over there in the corner, of course, closest to the bar. Anne-Marie not here tonight? Okay. Myself, they pulled me back in for another 3 years, thank you. And Richard DeFreitas at ABC Payroll. Dick has always been, he's been on the board for years, and he brings a lot of knowledge, and we're happy to have him staying on with us. And then we have a new director. For 2 years, Mr. Kirk Marshall. Good luck, bud. And thank you, we're so happy. Another board class of 82. This is awesome. Look at us go, right? So, and speaking of the class of 82, at this point, I would like to bring up my former classmate and dear, dear friend, Rick Romano, to present this year's Member of the Year.
It's in the perfect bag. Okay, so a little bit, about the Member of the Year and how we come to pick this individual. Every year, I'm only privy to it now because I was the last recipient. Every year, we get together as the board, not the board, but the previous recipients of this award. And there's a rubric that's followed, a voting. We look at all the names that are submitted, and it's worked out. Dick DeFreitas did a great job. It's very technical. So last year, we didn't have the right situation to award this, so this year was especially special when one name came to the top, there was no need for voting because all of us that were part of the selection committee had a unanimous feeling about this. So I'm going to give you some little background on this individual. This individual is a lifelong resident of Chelmsford. This person put themselves through school as a licensed electrician before starting a career in banking. He opened and sold a bank as an original founder of the Nashua Bank. He's an avid skier, hiker, golfer, and a member of Sky Meadow Country Club. He's helped the Chelmsford Parade Committee as a valued volunteer. He's a past president and current member of the Chelmsford Rotary, and an active member. He is the past president of the Front Door Agency for Battered Women and Children in Nashua. He was the treasurer for the Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce. This is a long list. He's a board member with the Nashua Youth Council, the Nashua American Heart Association, and the Nashua Child Care Centers Corporation. He's currently the CBA vice president. He was a valuable representative on the Selectmen's Classification Committee to study the effects of classification that will have on this community. He was recently appointed to the Economic Development Committee as the CBA representative. He has a loving wife, Donna, daughters Samantha and Jessica, and a very special grandson who's here with us tonight, Anthony. So please,
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Wow. I wasn't prepared to speak tonight. I think you got the wrong guy, to be honest with you. I'm very, very humbled. I love the CBA. Chelmsford has a lot to offer, as Rick mentioned, a lifelong resident. Looking forward to seeing maybe a flat rate on Monday. We'll see. But thank you all very much for this. This is incredible.
Representing the Merrimack Valley Food Bank, one of the most important organizations in the Merrimack Valley and important to Chelmsford and all of the surrounding towns. And we have a donation for the Merrimack Valley Food Bank, and we encourage anyone else who through the year continues to support this organization. It's extremely worthwhile, and we thank you all for what you do. I don't know if there's anyone else here that's affiliated with the food bank. Is there?
No, maybe some volunteers.
Any volunteers? Well, anyway, they're out there and much appreciated. So we have a check for the Merrimack Valley
Thank you
Food
so
Bank.
much. Thank you. Thank you so much. This goes a long way to really helping us. We are working to serve over 63,000 on a monthly basis through the food bank, and we do that with 155 member agencies that we work with through 47 communities. We are in the Merrimack Valley and beyond, and we go right up into southern New Hampshire. A lot of them are children, a lot of them are seniors and elders, and just this will really help us, and we really appreciate this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and I just want to say have a wonderful and happy holiday season, and thank you for continuing to support our organization.
Thanks again, Sue. And now the moment everyone's been waiting for, dinner. Thank you to the Princeton Lounge, Princeton Station for providing us a wonderful space and wonderful food once again this year.
please.